Good to see there are some well-known faces already in here. Those who came straight from the data visualization course, I think already know me. And also those people who done the fundamental of data science last year maybe also see me in that course as well. However, those who don't, my name is Jilani. I myself is a data scientist and was working in the industry for last 15 years, and I am also a casual academic in the Sydney Uni as well, and also with the James Cook University. With the James Cook, I am almost more than a year involving. So this course, you guys already know that I gonna be in Thursday. Mustafa and Glenn already been through it with you guys, and I have seen Mustafa did very detailed description things in the course content of week 1. But in my case, are you guys listening properly? I mean, is the sounds and everything okay? Okay, thank you. Yeah, yes, I can see Sunny as well. hmm That's good. Okay, and I have started recording, so those who will miss this one maybe can see the recording next time. However, as I mentioned before, in today's lecture, I'm gonna be through halfway through the course content and halfway through the R. Those who already been through the course of fundamental of data science, I think they already master of R because we've been through R in that course. And also, I believe some people have experience in already in either any one of the programming language. But if don't worry. And if those who don't have the R experience before, still don't worry. So we will go through detail in the R course, which is equal for this course. Basically, in this course, we're gonna go through our scripting, but we don't go through our markdown, and also we don't go through the ggplot. So whenever we was working in the data fundamental of data science, we was emphasis in the ggplot, but in this course we're not gonna go through the ggplot. And our main theme is to just go through the basic scripting, but which is very important for good and also good enough for finishing all of our assignments as well. Now, since Mustafa already gone through detail of the course content in last night and he didn't touch the R, that's why maybe some of the topic gonna be repeating for some of you guys who was also in the last class, but still I have to go through and I will go in my own style, but not the detail some of the topic because he already been through. So maybe it will be a little bit of repeating things, but I will make sure that everybody be will be good enough for installing the R, because from the next week we're gonna starting the R, and that is our main goal, that so that before the next week everybody have R and R Studio in their laptop. So I will go through that one as well. So before I sharing my slide, is there any question? If it is not, then I can start. And if any problem, I mean, if any sound problem or video problem, then let me know. But sometimes what happens is at the same time, since we're sharing the audio and video, sometimes maybe those who don't have a strong networking, maybe a not strong internet or Wi-Fi, maybe a little bit of problem initially, but it will be okay. This is my contract email address if anybody needs. And we are in week 1 now, so our yeah, is that okay? Is everybody see that the screen?
Yes.
So thanks. So our topic, there are 6 topics today: introduction to statistics, experimental design, visualization, central tendency, spread, and the transformation to normality. And the last part gonna be R and R studio, maybe last half an hour. So basically, this course, the fundamental of statistics, is a very important course for those who want to work as a data scientist, because this course is the backbone of the data data science, because whenever we get any data, we analyze the data, and at the end of the day we will give the output, or will give the prediction of the data. So that is the main theme of the statistics. That's why this course is must go for in every university whoever want to get a degree in the data science field. That's why this is one of the most important course in data for the data scientist. And my interest was the machine learning and data mining, and which is also a part of framework of the data framework of the statistical learning. So what is statistics? Statistics is a part of mathematics. But, um, is anybody holding the, if anybody, whenever I talking, if anybody holding the this icon, then it will go to the it will give him the opportunity to speak as well, so it will little bit give interruption. So if anybody holding this one, please release that one, I mean the sound button. It will be good for me. Thanks. So uh, as I said, the by definition of statistics is a part of mathematics, which will deal the collection, which will deal with the data collection, analysis, data interpretation, prediction, and finally, it will give a guideline for us for any business. This is the definition we got from the Wikipedia. However, to bring statistical learning to the front of successful business decision making, they are actually, we are in a era of the big data, and that's why because of the faster internet, and because of the bigger storing size of we are always producing the data by either by the mobile phone, or by the camera, or by the sensor, or by the card reader, etc. That's why, on the other hand, because there are so many, it is easy to store the data, and it is also a cost effective. Uh, that's why the data collection and continuous growth of data is a very big opportunity for the data scientists to analyze and get the output from inside of the data. In fact, in the last 2 years, the amount of data was produced in this world, but the human being only been able to capture half of the data. So nowadays, so many data is producing or generating, but we don't have even enough manpower or enough material to read the data, analyze the data, and get the prediction from the data. So this field is getting more and more popular, and getting more and more opportunity for those who are interested in data, and who are try to work with the data. On the other hand, advanced computing power is coming day by day, because every year the computer is getting upgraded from the previous year, and also the processing power of the computer or the technology is up, going up always. And this is the very good opportunity for us to exploring the complex pattern from the data, because the data is getting bigger and bigger, and once it getting too much bigger, we can call this is a big data. When and also to analyze that big data and to get the pattern from the big data and to go do the visualization of big data, still we have enough technology to study on that. That's why this field is getting very bigger and bigger, and there very big opportunity of fulfilled day by day. That's why it is very important for us to study. Now, whenever we go through the statistical learning or statistical package or a study on data, we will use so many words, but that sort of word is especially for the statistics. So we need to know what are they. First of all, like the cases, which is like individual item which information is being collected. Maybe people, maybe the animal, or maybe the soil sample, something like that. Like if you want to do some study on animal, on a specific kind of animal, or if you want to do some medical research on statistical animal, then this field of in that case you can term it as a cases. Like on the other hand, next one is suppose the variable. So in data visualization or fundamental of data science, whenever we get a table, we call it as an attribute of the data set. But in here, all the name of the column, we will call it as a variable. Suppose if you have a table of student and then student ID, student name, they are the variable. Like observation unit, individual member in the cases data, the collection of information, either qualitative or quantitative. Census mean when you collect all the member in the population, that is the census. So census is a very big term or very big scale of data. Like if you have the data from all Australian, that is the census data from that population. And the data set is collection of data, and the parameter and characteristics of population, which is denoted by mu or sigma. This is called the parameter, and we will use this parameter in future on our statistical learning. And by definition, population is the set of data corresponding to entire collection. If you have the entire all the data, or if you have the data from everybody in any your targeted group, then that is the population. Like the blood pressure for all Australian, if you have it, then it is called the population, or you can term it as a population. So population and the parameter are very important term you will always use whenever you go through your assignment or whenever you work with the data in statistical field. Number two is sample. Sample is about the portion of the population, small size, because you can't work with the population. The reason is it is very bigger and time consuming, also cost effective. Also, there are so many reasons. So it is not possible sometimes to work with the population if it is big. However, if the population is small, then maybe you can go through. But the sample is to get some portion of the data from the population. We can term it as a sample. And as an example, like in the blood pressure reading of 1,000 randomly selected people in Australia, you can term it as a sample. However, whenever I talk, if you guys have any question, just hold it, and at the end of the lecture, I'll get you guys at least 10 minutes time to answering any sort of questions. Because in this system, it is very difficult to changing the screen, come back and go again to answering the question is sometimes difficult whenever we talk, right? So in the topic 2, it was experimental design. In statistical experiment come to the conclusion about the population. When we study space and sample, often come to a conclusion whether claim is valid, or you can take it or reject it. This is called the experiment. And whenever we have a good collection of data, we can get a good result from that experiment. Good collection of data mean the data which is not biased, or the data which is clean and which gives a clear picture about any issue. Suppose if you want to do some study about Coke. If you ask 50 people, do you like Coke or not? If you give them a piece of paper and tell them that write your answer and put it in this box, maybe they will give you a good answer. But whenever if you ask them, tell me, do you like the Coke? And even if they don't like it, sometimes they will say yes. This sort of answer or this sort of data is not a good data, because he don't like the Coke, but because he don't want you to make upset, that's why he said yes. This sort of data is sometimes biased data, and working with this sort of data, you can't get a proper or nice result. And there are two kinds of study we will do in experimental design. One is observational and one is experimental. Observation is whenever the researcher only observe, don't do any further experiment on it, or do any further external things on that. On the other hand, an experimental research, the researcher is doing a lot of experiment. In my every slide, if you guys see something down there, a link, you guys can go there and have a look for if you have any further query about that topic, or if you feel interested to go through the detail of that topic. So there are so many links I will put, and you guys can go through and have a look if it is good or suitable for you. Right, experiment when we work in experimental design, we have to think about the variable. There are three kind of variable. If you guys can see in the picture in here, one is called the independent variable, one is dependent variable, and another one is control variable. This concept is very simple. The variable which has no other dependency to anything else. Suppose in here you can see that you putting the water or Coke or juice in the plant. So plant will be it is a dependent, because plant is based on the liquid, but liquid is independent because it is not dependent to anything else. On the other hand, the condenser or the pot, this is called the control variable because it is fixed. So whenever you will design your experiment, or whenever you work with your assignment, you go through the population or sample and you design in experiment, your own experimental design, maybe you can think about to describe these sort of things. And experimental design, there are two kinds of. One is between the subjects and one is within the subjects. As I said, in the down there, some of the link, and you guys can go and easily have that link, and which is very helpful. Yeah. So this one also have, this one also have. This is two kinds of experimental design we have. The number three is data visualization. Number three is a topic is visualization. Data visualization is one of my favorite topic. We just finished this course last couple of weeks before. So those who came to this course from that course, this topic gonna be very easy for them. So what is data visualization, why and why it is important? Data visualization is nothing but to visualize your data or your table or your observation in a manner so that only one small picture can give you a lot of information or tell you a lot of things. And it is important because for management, top management, or it is important to show your visualization or show your research in various platform or in various kind of group of people. Suppose if you are a medical person and you have you want to sell your product in the market, and you want to show them the trend or effect result of that medicine, then you can show them, I did this research with that kind of people on the market, and this is the result. So you can show that on visualization format, which is very helpful or useful for the audience. So if there are so many kinds of data, one is called the categorical data. In our lecture, you guys maybe have seen that it is easy to represent the categorical data in these two kinds of format, like in the pie chart or bar chart. However, we try to avoid the pie chart if there are more than 5, 6, or 7 kind of seven types of attribute or 7 data types, right? So only pie chart is very useful if it is 1 or 2 or 3. Still, it is very debatable issue whether chart is good or not. And we have a good discussion in the data visualization course in the last term as well. And also, but it is very good to represent the data in the bar chart if you have because you can express your emotion in the bar chart nicely, and you can tell what you want to show by your bar chart. And also the audience can easily get the attraction from your bar chart. So that's why data visualization is becoming very popular day by day, and it is very important for the statistician and for the data scientist. Another way of visually represent the data is called the histogram. Histogram is mainly depends on one kind of variable, not 2 or 3 kinds of variable, and it will show you the distribution of the data. Also helpful for you to get the outlier, to see if there are any outlier of the data and discover the distribution and pattern of the data. Once the shape of any data is something like bell shape or curve like this or something like this one, that is called the, sometimes it is called the Gaussian distribution, sometimes it is called the normal distribution, or some people it called the bell shape distribution. Machine learning people call it Gaussian distribution, they want to call it like that way. We in this course we will call it normal distribution. And also we described the bar chart before, and also pie chart before. One of the most important way to analyze the data is called the scatter plot. Scatter plot is very important and handy to show the data in two-dimensional way, either in x-axis and in the y-axis. There are very detailed description about the scatter plot, and whenever I will go through the R, then I will try to show the scatter plot and all of this sort of plot in R without using the ggplot. Okay. Another kinds of representation of data is called the time plot of data. Suppose if you have a cat and that cat is you have the data from 2004 to 2011, and you weight the cat's weight and every year and put a point in there to there. But if you add the points if you try to add every points, then you can see a nice shape. This is called the time trend of the data. So from 2004 to 2009, data is going a little bit up. That means the cat's weight is going up. And from 9 till 10, it was fixed, and then after that, it is going down. So this is a very nice representation for time series data. So you can represent the time series data in this way. Another sort of data representation is everything okay? Let me go through that part and come back again. Okay. All good. Okay. Thanks. So everybody see the screen still? Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Another kind of representation is called QQ plot, which means the quantile plot. It is a graphical tool to help us access if a set of data may come from some theoretical distribution such as the normal distribution. So it is and in the down there is I got mm, uh, writing and research from the University of Virginia. Then if you guys go to there, then they explain a little bit more about nicely what is QQ plot. So actually, QQ plot is if you have a distribution of the if you have a QQ plot distribution, then you can gaze at the corresponding histogram of the data. So if you have the perfect shape of the QQ plot is something like diagonal line, and if the data, most of the data is lying on the on this line, then we can say that the data may be the normal distribution. So to check the data, what kind of data you have and what kind of distribution do you have in your data, then you can maybe go through the QQ plot. And in R we have good options to check the histogram and all and also the QQ plot. So that's why we use R as a tools in this course, and not only we, worldwide, because R is such a tremendous and easy and fantastic software programming language for the data scientists, that they are always dealing with the statistical things which we need actually. Topic 4 gonna be the central tendency. Mean, you guys already seen in the last night a lot of these things last night as well. Mean is very easy. So if you have some sort of data, adding all of them and divided also how many of them you have, that is called the mean. And also when you try to get the median, first try to sort the data in the middle and find the middle value. So mean is very sensitive on outlier, but and it's very best to normal distribution. But while median is better to use the skewed data. So whenever we have the data and we can see the distribution of the data, we will either go through observation, either go analyzing the mean value, or sometimes we will go to the median value. However, most of the data we will try to make it a normal distribution rather than go through the median or other way, because whenever you have a data and it is the normal distribution, then you can have so many statistical experiment to do on that. That's why it is called the parametric study on statistical learning. Spread is the same sort of things. You can see how your data is spread out, and there are a couple of things to know from the spread of your data. Number one is range. You know what is that, and the quartile. Also, you guys have seen this in the last night as well. I just represented it in my own way. If this is all of the data we have, then middle value is the mean value, which we call the Q2. From here to here, we get another mean value from it is called the Q1. So adding all the value and then divide by the how many of them. Similarly, in this part, adding all the value and divided by how many of them. So this part is Q1, this part is Q3. And if you have the data, first you have to divide the data approximate equal for equal size. So once if you have this one, from that point you can come to the 5-number summary. We can go there minimum, maximum, Q1, Q3 and Q2. Just Q1 here, Q2 this one, Q3 this one, and the max, the largest one. From that point to this point, it is our box plot. So the box plot is nothing but the graphical representation of this one. So some people may be sometimes being very confused with box plot if they see that suddenly. So box plot is nothing but came from this one, and hang on, and this one came from that one. So if you go through a little bit of them, then you will understand that this is very easy. And box plot will give you a very good understanding about your distribution of the data, and you know what is if there is outlier. If there are outlier, then what is the outlier, and comparing between two kinds of data set can be very good options. Population and sample, easy and useful thing for us. We have seen this last night as well. I put it in a formula basis. If you guys go and have a look and see that, this is very easy. And z-score also we have seen in the last week, and the coefficient of variance. I just put the formula in here. One of the most important things is the data transform to normality. Why we need to do the data transformation to normality? As I said, because once if we have the normal data, we call it parametric, because we have the parameter. Parameter means mu, lambda, and all other measurement. Whenever you have the normally distributed data, you can go do the statistic analysis and do the machine learning analysis very easily. But if you don't have the normally distributed data, you have to make it a normally distributed. But still, if you can't make it normally distributed data, then you have to go through some sort of analysis. You have to go through like some sort of things called the density estimation, which is the details part of the statistical learning. That is a bit harder and deeper part of the statistics. So if you have the data which is normally distributed, that is good. If even it is not, you can try to make it as a normal distribution. See, this is if you have a data on this kind of things, and you can see the Q to Q plot, which is left skewed data, but by doing some transformation, you from here to here, you came to this shape of the data, which is called the log transformation. But if you are still not happy with the shape of this data, then from here to here, you came to square root transformation, which will give you a very good transformation. So you have this data, and after doing some sort of transformation, if you can come to this shape, then this is good for you to further analysis. That's why we need to know what is transformation, and we have to go through the transformation. Okay. Now, until now, I quickly came through the weekly content today of today. If you guys have any question, or if I been through very faster, I don't know. Maybe you guys can tell me. After that, I will go through the R. Okay. However, if you guys have any confusion or any question, I was sometimes I think I was very fast. Yes, look, because I have to go through same sort of things. Maybe because I was my main intention was to finish these things within half an hour. That's why look, I have 15, I think 17 or 18 slide to come through within a very half an hour time. But thanks for your feedback. I will go through a bit slowly. Okay. Okay. All right. I will definitely the presentation sharing mean, yeah, I will upload it in tomorrow. Okay. Okay. So now let's go through the next part. Now I will go through our studio. First thing is to install the R. If we go through, if we need to install the, we have to go through. We have to install two things. First of all, installing the R itself as a software, and another thing is our studio, which is called the R IDE. So at first, if you go through the CRAN our project, I mean in here, that's why I put everything in the slide so that everybody can see it and practice at home in their own computer or own laptop, and I will upload it and share it with you guys. So if you go through there, and you will get the R. However, this is only the, yeah, yeah, screen is frozen. Okay, let me share it again, okay guys, because look, sometimes the reason is sometimes it happens because of the internet connection, but I am based in Sydney and I am using the national NBN, so my connection should be faster. I am not sure though. Okay, let me share it again. I think and wish it should be a little bit better for you guys. I don't know. Okay, so if it is clear, just let us go move forward. And to install R, is that all okay? Yeah, frozen. Stop sharing. Hang on, hang on. Let me stop sharing again, then again start sharing. No, I am using only one screen because my screen even make it more slower. That's why I use only one screen. And because at the same time we are sharing audio and video, sometimes it happens. Let me try again, right? Yes, David, you want to say something? Share, hide. How is it good? Can you see? Thanks God. Okay. Okay, let me go move forward, right? So installing the R, I hope and I wish everybody finish their installation within this weekend, R Studio and R. So first of all, those who don't have yet, go to this website and download the R. Just exactly follow. Either go to if it is Linux or Windows or for your Mac. Okay, but if it is sometimes give you disturb to downloading or installing, then you can go to the mirror site. The mirror site is in various country-wise location. They put the and then you can download from there and you can install from there. So once if you install R from this CRAN R website, next thing is you have to install R IDE, which is called Interactive Development Environment. So that site is in here, istudio.com/product istudio download blah blah. Now you go there and select which one is you need, Vista 7 or 8 or Windows 10, whatever, or you need the, if you need the Red Hat or you need the Mac, whatever. So download that one and then what you do is install that one. If you download and install R, then you can work with R. However, from this slide to end of the slide, sometimes I will go back to that screen and again come back to this screen. So for the for a short time, let me go through the R. Okay. So everything is whatever I tell or describe today in R or in here, everything I put in the slide. This is because as a reference so that you guys can go again and try, and if any problem, let us know in the discussion board and we can give the further solution. So once if you install the R, I put it like, hang on, say this is my R. And you and once if you see something like this kind of screen, this kind of R, then this is called R. Whenever you open the R, there are four part of R. You once if you work R, you will be familiar with everything of very slowly. This one is, this part in here is main screen of R. Whenever where we start our program or write our program, or main scripting part is this one. This part is called the console part. So if you want to bigger of that part, you can click in here, it will be bigger part of that part, right? And if you click in here, it will share with the with your console part. But this part is global environment. Global environment means if you write any program in here, you declare something, your data type or your variable or your table name, you declare in here, it will go in there, that in your global environment. And in here it is your other environment. You can see the visualization or output part is in here. So whenever you work on scripting, you can scripting something in here, and if you suppose run a visualization code in here, you will get the output in here. Okay, let me go there. Oh yes, you guys will go through default is white, right? But if you go to the, hang on, oh, my one is not white, right? Then you can go in here, like maybe in tools, and then preference or global options. If you go there, then you can change your options, or in here, see options, what should be your color. You can change it from here. Okay, appearance should be appearance, right? So if you can change the appearance in here. So if it is, I don't like white because once if I work a long time, then it hurt my eyes. That's why I bring this color. So there are four parts: this part, that part, this part, and that part, right? Now, in here, if you so if you try to work on R script, just you go there, small plus, then you can like write down, click the R script, or control plus, shift plus, and whatever. Anyway, clicking is better. That is, you can open the R script. But another environment of R is called R markdown. I think in this course you guys are not working on R markdown, but I just, for the sake of the I gonna show you. Once if you want to do something in R markdown mean it will give you a flexibility to work to make the report from your R program. Suppose I have a program in R markdown in here. This is my program, so it will give me some by default thing on here. Now, once if you have a program written in R markdown, and you can make output, or you can submit the work, or you can show to the client, something like that, right? Then you can knit it, KNIT, knit to HTML. That means you can see that it will compile at the same time in here, and it will make you the output of R, if you guys can see that in here. See? So your program or your scripting is in R, and you can make the output in the HTML format. This is called the this is generated from R. So like you can do little bit of coding, and then you can go make such a nice output for your client, or for your for a student, whatever. So this is called the R markdown, right? At the same time, if you have a program which you write in markdown, then you can make the HTML format output, or the PDF output, or the Word format output. However, for this course, we're gonna only work on our scripting. Say this is our new our scripting file. Our scripting. So this is your new file. Once if you open a new file in here, it will show you something like that. Then you can write down your program in here. However, console part, you can, if you have so many things in work on so many things in here, you can clear your console part in here as well. Small brush, it will clear you. Similarly, you can if you want to work if you don't want to see anything in here, or you want to start over everything, then maybe you can still clean in here, like in still small the clear button, right? Still small in here. Yes. Then this is the environment. So this is your R scripting program. So this is your first program, right? Now when you work on R, it will give you very good flexibility on working on to work on which directory you're gonna working on. So by you can know easily where this file is before you even before you save this file. Suppose this is the first time you're working on R, and this is your first program. So you can write down like get working directory, get wd like that, and your cursor, if your cursor is in here and you run in here, so it will give you a working directory, something like down there in console scale. So if you write down a comments in here, and once if you run the comments, then you can get the outputs in here. So this is your, if it is your first scripting program, then file, save whatever you want to save, like documents, blah, my first R scripting, blah blah, save. Yes. So that is your first R scripting program. Once if you need anytime any sort of help when you working with R, you can get the help. So to get the help, are you guys okay? Okay, look, yeah, so many people already know R, so many things. Nehru, is your screen frozen again? I don't know what's happening. You want me to stop and share again or what? Is anybody else I'm not on that R screen again. Oh, okay for you, Sunny. I don't know what should I do. I think something problem with Nehru's internet. I don't know. Okay, all good. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah. Oh, okay, okay. All right. I gonna reshare it. Okay. Just give me a second. Is it? Yeah. Yes. Sometimes uh, share file. No. Share application. Enter screen. Share. Hide. Okay, guys, let's go again. So in this course, we are not gonna go more about the markdown, because I was asking Glenn regarding to this issue, which part should we go? And Glenn said we should always work on our scripting, not the markdown. That's why I will try to go through only the R scripting, not the markdown. Still freezing. I don't know what can I do now. Okay. Okay. All good. Let's go there. Otherwise, our time is going running faster. So this is the way to getting your working directory, right? But you can go through the working directory from here as well, as Michael was showing. Now, also you can set your working directory if you want to. Say set WD. So R is such a good thing that whenever you try to write down something, it will suggest you a lot of things. WD. So if you say you want to set your working directory, so yeah, if you put one inverted comma, then R will use by you itself another one. So USERS, maybe this is the thing. So now let's run this code. Yeah, so it will use your current directory to this part in here. Another important thing while we work in R is we maybe go through we need to go through our help topic over and over so many times. Suppose if we need help about any issue, suppose we want some help to know how to plotting, right? So what we do is HELP, then we go plot, PLOT, whatever. Suppose plot. If you run it in here, you will see in this small screen, it is output screen. You will get the result about your plotting things. At the same time, you will see your console screen in here. Whenever you work over and over and over, and you see so many things in here, immediately you can clean your screen in here. Similarly, you can do it in this side in here as well. Another important thing, whenever we work on R, we maybe need to install the application package. I will go through that things called the application package. Look, to install application package and use that application package. Suppose if you want to do any clustering things in your R, or clustering analysis, or you want to implement the clustering algorithm in R. So first thing you have to do is you can install package in here. At the same time, you can install the package in here as well, so in this part as well. So to do that, we have to write down like install packages, something like this one. So if it is something like cluster, right? CLUST, yeah. If it is cluster type of application package, then you can run it. If you can run it, then it will automatically install the application package for you if you don't have that package. See, it is doing working in here, and once it is finished your job, then you can try to use it, and it will show you what it did. So it did that. It brings that package for you and make it available for you. So once if you have that one, then you can make like library. So suppose this is a library, and then the library name was cluster. That's why it is class. Right? It is in here. Then you can run and you can use it in your future, in future for them for that things. On the other hand, you can do same thing in here. Suppose package install cluster, CLSTER. See, it will show the recommendation, and if you click in here, blah blah, and then you can install it from here as well. So once you install anything once, then you have to don't have to use in this machine over and over. Once installing once in your lifetime with that R, then it is good to use for the rest of the life. But once if you install once, then best idea is to inactive the code. In R, we will inactive things like this way. Okay, that means once suppose if you go in here and suppose if you highlight them and run all of them code, then although R bring these three lines in here, actually R didn't run this code, because I know that this is not I don't want R to run this code. Okay, this is how it works. Anyway, R is very tremendous and easy and fantastic things to use, and uh, um, as soon as we go the details of the R, you will get it is so much interesting software. And so, and as much as you practice, as much as you work with your data set and your R language, and you will be efficient and expert day by day. I like R more than any other programming language. If you give me any data set and you want me to do something with data set, and then if you tell me there is no barrier on software, then I will use definitely R. Because I like not only me, there are so most of the data scientist people, or the people who are like to work with data, um, they like our too. So because of its flexibility. Mm, Now the next thing I will show you guys, because we are running out of time today, but I have everything in my slide. So I was planning to show you guys the data type and all other things, but I will go through the slide and I will come back with that slide from the next week. So let's go to the slide rather than R. Until now, you guys know how to install that R, how to start working in R scripting, how to save that file. You know a little bit of about the R environment, but because it is not easy for a screen at the same time you have to look for. You're writing something, your output screen, your console screen, and your global environment screen. So at the same time, it is you have to look for all four environment. However, these things will be these things brings you from our studio. But once if you only have the R software without the R studio, then you can say you can see maybe something like that. This screen very which is not so helpful or useful for sometimes. That's why we recommend to use R and R studio at the same time. However, I will go through the rest of the things rest of the things in next week, but I will try to finish the things in here. Now I show that, and then you go through these things, then you will understand this is very easy how to get absolute value or maximum number from the three things, and I show that how to get help from something. And as I said, R is very important and handy because it is supporting too much packages. And how it works, R have its own package and contributed package from all over the world. The data scientist or programmer is working. Suppose if you work on a package, if you make your own package, and then you want to contribute to R, then you submit it to CRAN, and then CRAN, if CRAN certify your work, then you can use, and then everybody can use that package. That's why R is getting bigger and bigger and smarter and popular day by day, because from R thousands of applications you can use. So if you want to work SQL, you can still work from the R screen because you can have a flexibility to do that. That's why it is very much if you want to work any scikit-learn, or if you want to work on math sort of things, and if you want to work on any sort of machine learning algorithm, you can have different kinds of library to install in R. That's why R is very handy and very useful and important. In this screen, I have shown how to use 4 kinds of data types in R. I will show these things in details next class as well. There are 5 kinds of data types R is supporting. One is integer, double, character data type, and the logical data type. This, although the types of the data types things and this kind of things is very important not only for R but also for any programming language. That's why I will try to go through these things. And also Mustafa gonna go through this kind of things in the next week as well, and also with the example. And two very big two very big programming things can easily be done by R. One is called the vector, and another one is called the matrices. I will show them in the next class as well. And there are 3 kinds of vector. One is numeric and character and logical type of vector. I will go through this in the next week as well, because next week is only R, nothing else, no theory. And with R you can make your own matrices, and you can get your own matrices. Which one you can, if you go through this slide, maybe you will understand easily what I mean by which things. And also I add some cheat sheet from R Markdown. So if you go through all these things, then maybe slowly you can understand. But I will the reason I put that everything in here in same slide, because for you guys to use it as a future reference. In future, if you whenever in the middle of your programming you don't know something, or you confused about something, if you come back, then you can understand same sort of things in here. Maybe will be helpful in future, just for future reference. And also same thing. And there are some there are some reference I put in here. One is a vector related reference. If you have time or interested, can go and have a look. And this one is matrix related reference. If you get enough time and have interest, go and have a look. Also, there is a reference from YouTube reference. You guys can go, and if you guys have any confusion, there are so many good example in R regarding to R programming language. This is called the University, one of the best site video, I mean, YouTube site for data scientists. So go there, practice them, and try to install the R before the before the next week, which will because next week we will only go through the R programming language from beginning to end, and also Mustafa gonna go through same sort of things. Before I finish, is there any question from anybody? Register the same on both of your example of transformed data, log transformation and square root transformations. The y-axis stay the same. Yes, you can define it. It depends, and you can get this flexibility from R as well. If you want to fix this, then it's up to you. But you can do that programmatically as well. So there is an example in the in the weekly materials as well. Thanks, Daniel. Thanks, guys. Now, is any other question? Thanks, Sunny. However, if before the next week, please try to install R. And if any problem, just put in the discussion board. And thanks everybody. Until then, I see you all of you guys in the next week and in the same time. So I know that some people are confused about the system, and it will be okay slowly, and you will get enough help from the discussion board. So if you have any question or anything, just put in the discussion board. And also, I will try my best to go to the next week a bit slowly, because I also believe that I've been a little bit faster, but I will try to go a little bit slowly in the next week. Thanks, everybody. Bye. What is the pattern of the 3 evenings? Do we join each one, or no? Look, this is very important question by Karan. Look, in glance part, always there should be question and answer relating to the assignment. Me or Mustafa not gonna go through the assignment related question. Only Glenn gonna go through that. However, me and Mustafa only will go through the weekly content. Weekly content mean the weekly schedule we have in our online things. You can have a look what I will go in each week. But some of the things gonna maybe repeating type things. I mean, because Mustafa gonna go through the Wednesday and I gonna go Thursday, but our example gonna be the different from me to Mustafa. We're not gonna going to show the same data set, but we will go through different data set on maybe on the same topic, but should be the yes Sunny, it gonna be on Tuesday. And Wednesday is more focus on theory. Yes, exactly, Sunny got it. And Thursday focus is more on R and practical issue. Yeah, got it. Yeah. So this is our at this moment until get further explanation from Glenn maybe. Okay, but this should be the okay. And this is the rough guideline. On the other hand, if anybody has an issue, a kind of question, then easily can uh, answer from the discussion board, isn't it? Okay, Karan. However, thanks guys, and thanks for listening. Thanks for coming. Nice to see so many of my favorite faces, which I have already seen before in the previous courses. And I will again see you guys on the next week. Stop recording.